Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. Christians around the world have been celebrating Good Friday with prayers, penance, and fasting. Here in Barbados, some have also taken the extra step of reenacting the story of Jesus Christ's last day on earth through the Stations of the Cross service. Among them, the congregation of the St. Dominic's Roman Catholic Church. Church member Barbara Taylor says Good Friday is a day when the church focuses on the crucifixion and death of the Lord. She tells CBC News many people were touched after seeing what Jesus went through.
We have lifted spirits because we know that Jesus died, but we also know that he rose and he's overcome death. So death, where is your sting? So today we are joyful. We are joyful knowing that Jesus is our Savior and that he rose from the dead so that he opened the gates of heaven to us.
Members of the St. Philip Parish Church also had a reenactment of the 14 Stations of the Cross this morning.
The small congregation traveled through the cemetery and around the church, stopping for prayers and readings along the way and to hammer nails into trees. Rector Reverend Trevor O'Neill spoke about the significance of the journey to those in the Christian faith.
They are actually in memory of persons, the pilgrims who journeyed to Jerusalem and stopped at certain places and offer praise in their devotion to their Lord and Savior Jesus. And in some cases, the tradition has it that they recounted the last journey of Jesus from Jerusalem to Calvary, which we did this morning. Is the whole Good Friday service, the story, the crucifixion of Jesus, and we took that journey this morning.
Worshipper Ulrich Seeley says Good Friday is a time to reflect on the sacrifice Jesus made for mankind.
For us, it really anchors us in the faith. It's always exciting to see the pilgrimage being made, and like as the priest said, it commemorates the past practice of Christians making a pilgrimage to Jerusalem, stopping at various points to pray.
The good book says a little child shall lead them, and these little ones have not been left out. They told us what this morning's proceedings meant to them.
He's the Son of God, so he resurrected 3 days after.
What the cross meant to me is about Jesus' crucifixion, and he is the Son of God, so he can do anything.
Lisa Lord, CBC News.
The Sons of God Apostolic Spiritual Baptist Church at Richmond Gap St. Michael carried their traditional Station of the Cross reenactment through the parish and into Bridgetown. Reverend Eustace Prescott says the church continues to build on the foundation laid by late Patriarch Archbishop Granville Williams. He says Good Friday is a day for reflection and urged Barbadians to never forget why Jesus died.
The first reason he came to the world is to bring back man from a dying state. Man have error. We learn in Genesis that Adam fell, and because of that fall, all mankind fall. And Jesus came for that purpose, to redeem man, to give man hope.
While many have attended church services, others have spent the day engaged in non-traditional activities. Rianne Phillips has that story.
It's not quite common to see numerous watering holes open on Good Friday.
No, they say that you're supposed to kill on Good Fridays. Not drink. You can do anything on Good Fridays. You don't kill on Good Fridays. You don't kill on Good Fridays. You can eat anything on Good Friday. Pork, salmon, duck, anything. But you're not supposed to kill.
We're using white. We're not using the brown. We can't buy fish. Fish too expensive. So we prefer to celebrate with a white.
For others, the beach was the best way to beat the heat.
We're out doing having a little barbecue. It's just not it's my extended family as well. Because we're all witnesses from the Oisins congregation, the Jehovah's Witnesses. So we're just having a little time at the beach now.
But some traditional beliefs and practices appear to be still alive, like this one, known as setting of the egg white, to see what shape it takes.
It looked like a shape, and the old people used to say, you would go overseas wrong nothing.
And some were so curious to cut the visit nut tree at noon to see if it produces the red sap, which is believed to represent Jesus' blood.
on Good Fridays, from a kid, I've been witnessing that red sap running from these trees.
Brian Phillips, CBC News.
A raging fire just off the Bell stretch of the ABC highway has caused problems for motorists the entire day and led to at least one accident. Since late morning, dry bush and cane trash burned non-stop on the side of the Bell. The smoke from the blaze covered sections of the busy stretch of the highway. It was so thick at points, motorists were unable to see. This accounted for at least one accident in the area. Some motorists were forced to turn around and drive in the opposite direction to avoid a similar fate. The roving response team, along with the Barbados Fire Service, battled the blaze for hours, while police officers stepped in to redirect traffic from what had quickly developed into a dangerous situation. From the region, over in Guyana, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure and a Dutch firm continue consultations on the construction of a new Demerara Harbour Bridge. More details in this Royden James report.
A feasibility study for the new fixed high-span bridge across the Demerara River has identified several locations on the east bank for the construction. Once one of the locations is selected, the government will have to move to acquire private-owned lands, Minister David Patterson said Wednesday.
I do expect that anybody whose home or property that may be affected would obviously feel aggrieved. We will obviously have consultations with them whenever that final decision is made. But unfortunately, as I said in the opening, doing nothing is not an option.